Hi, I'm Julie from Cultures for Health. If you've thought about making kombucha at home, I've got great news for you. It's easy. 5 simple ingredients will get you started. Today I want to talk with you about activating the starter culture you've received from us. That's what you'll be using along with sugar tea to make a delicious, tart, fermented beverage known as kombucha. You can do this. Let's get started. Here are the 5 simple ingredients you will need. 2 to 3 cups filtered water free of both chlorine and fluoride. You can even use distilled water for this. 1/4 cup white sugar. White sugar is best because it's the easiest sugar for the culture to digest. 2 black tea bags. If you prefer to use loose tea, it's 1½ teaspoons of black tea. 1/2 cup of distilled white vinegar. It's very important to use distilled white vinegar for this process. Go ahead and also put some of that white vinegar in a spray bottle, and we'll use that a little later. And then you'll need your starter culture, also known as a SCOBY. Let's go ahead and start activating it. First, we're going to make sweet tea. So we're going to take our 1/4 cup of white sugar and pour it into a glass jar. This is a quart-sized jar, perfect for this project. And we want to add hot water to this. It needs to be hot enough to dissolve the sugar and steep the tea. Put in there. Okay, so I'm going to mix the water and the sugar together because I really want that sugar to dissolve before I add the tea bags. All right. So 2 tea bags black tea. Now we want to let this steep for about 10 minutes and then pull the tea bags back out. And then let this mixture cool all the way down to room temperature. Very important so we don't damage the starter culture. Now that your sweet tea has completely cooled down, I like to always double check with the thermometer to make sure that we are all the way down to room temperature. And yes, we have reached that point. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the thermometer out. And now we're going to add the vinegar. Okay, and give that a little stir. And then we're gonna add our starter culture. Time to let this culture, so we need to go ahead and cover it. I like to use a just plain paper coffee filter. These are really handy if you have them around. If you don't, a fine weave cloth or dish towel works great too. You do want a tight rubber band though. You want to get this nice and tight so no fruit flies or ants invade your culture. So it's time to find a nice safe place for this jar to sit. It needs to be a warm spot out of direct sunlight, and you're going to let it sit for 30 days. Now the starter culture is a little bit vulnerable during this activation process. And so one thing that you can do to help protect it from airborne mold is to just dampen the top either with a spray bottle or drip some vinegar on here. Just spray that down. This helps protect the SCOBY. So a couple things to keep in mind with this activation batch. First, it's normal for there not to be any visual change with the SCOBY. In fact, you may not even see a baby SCOBY form for the first few batches. This is perfectly normal and nothing to worry about. Second, this activation batch tends to turn out a little vinegary. It's pretty tart. Not everyone wants to drink it, but that's okay. You can actually use it as a base for salad dressings and marinade. So that's it. In 30 days, you'll have a fully activated starter culture and be ready to start making kombucha at home. Be sure to check out our video on making that first batch of kombucha tea. In the meantime, check out our website at culturesforhealth.com for hundreds of articles, videos, and recipes for making kombucha and other cultured foods. You can do this with Cultures for Health.